used by the perpetrators of a wide spearphishing campaign. This focus on joint action and collaboration is exemplified by the National Cyber Investigative Joint Task Force, which brings together intelligence community, law enforcement, and cybersecurity agencies for a whole-of-government approach against these cyber threats. Our partners in the intelligence community and across government are central to these efforts. Leveraging each of our authorities and capabilities enables us to conduct coordinated operations to respond to and deter malicious activity from groups like DarkSide. There's a lot of exceptional behind-the-scenes teamwork that goes into both identifying effective ways to target adversaries and predicating actions that we may take against them. I want to give major thanks to the incredibly hardworking special agents, intelligence analysts, and professional staff of the FBI's Atlanta and San Francisco field offices and the FBI Cyber Division, along with government-wide partners who assisted in this investigation and seizure. These cases require a significant level of determination and technical expertise, and without a doubt, every individual involved displayed that through the achievements reflected here today. We continue to be committed to using the information intelligence we develop through our investigations to take early, meaningful steps to protect the public and be preventative. We will continue to work relentlessly and seek innovative ways to use our unique authorities, world-class capabilities, and enduring partnerships for maximum impact against our adversaries. Today, we deprived a cyber criminal enterprise of the object of their activity, their financial proceeds and funding. For financially motivated cyber criminals, especially those presumably located overseas, cutting off access to revenue is one of the most impactful consequences we can impose. When the FBI combines our law enforcement and intelligence authorities with those of our partners in government and the cooperative relationship with private industry, and when we have victims willing to share information to further our collective efforts against cyber adversaries, we can have immediate, permanent effect on ransomware actors. That is why it is so critical for victims to report intrusions to us as soon as possible, and then work with us to provide evidence and intelligence for our investigations, leading to recovery, attribution, and ultimately prevention. Victim reporting not only can give us information we need to have immediate real-world impact on the actors, it can also help prevent future intrusions into other victim networks and prevent further harm from occurring. With continued cooperation and support from victims, private industry, and our U.S. and international partners, we will bring to bear the full weight and strength of our combined efforts and resources against those actors who think nothing of threatening public safety and our national security for profit. Thank you. And I'd now like to invite to the podium the Acting U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of California, Stephanie Hines.
I want to thank Deputy Attorney General Monaco for inviting me to add my remarks. Last week, Deputy Attorney General Monaco spoke about the onslaught of ransomware attacks being carried out and suggested we all should focus organized resources on meeting this challenge. As the Acting United States Attorney for California's Northern Judicial District, I am directing my office to continue to marshal the resources necessary not only to apprehend and bring to justice ransomware extortionists, but also to deprive them of the profits that incentivize their crimes. Today we announced the seizure of millions of dollars in Bitcoin paid by an innocent victim in ransom in a bid to regain control of computer systems. The extortionists will never see this money. New financial technologies that attempt to anonymize payments will not provide a curtain from behind which criminals will be permitted to pick the pockets of hardworking Americans. This case demonstrates our resolve to develop methods to prevent evildoers from converting new methods of payment into tools of extortion for undeserved profits. The Northern District of California is home to Silicon Valley, an area that year after year fuels remarkable innovation and expansive economic growth in the technology sector. As the nation increases its reliance on technologies developed within and exported from Northern California, so too do we increase our reliance on law enforcement to develop, maintain, and employ the expertise necessary to keep our technologies safe. Criminal actors employ aggressive, complex tactics to attack our infrastructure and our daily lives, and increasingly can do so from anywhere on the planet. Our efforts to disrupt and deter these threats must be creative and advanced. I want to thank our partners at the FBI for their professional deployment of expertise and for their skill in coordinating with the prosecutors in my office and with our colleagues in the criminal division components to allow us to reach this result. I'd like to turn the podium back over to Deputy Attorney General Monaco.
Thanks, Stephanie. Okay, I think we're ready for a few questions.
Ms. Monaco, how much of the money did you take out of this Bitcoin account that you found? Did you clean it out, basically? And is it the first time the government has ever done this?
So it's not the first time that the government has ever seized cryptocurrency in connection with ransomware attacks. This is the first such seizure that the Ransomware and Digital Extortion Task Force has undertaken. With regard to your first part of your question, Pete, I'll let the court documents speak for themselves. They lay out the probable cause that was presented to the Northern District, to the judge in the Northern District of California with regard to the tracing of the criminal proceeds to the dark side actors.
Sarah. Hi, I was wondering, does this mean, based on this example, for other companies, when this happens to them, does this imply that they should also pay if it's through cryptocurrency because of the blockchain technology and the way that the FBI was able to track the money and seize it? I mean, is that a tactic that companies should consider?
Look, the message we are sending today is that if you come forward and work with law enforcement, we may be able to take the type of action that we took today to deprive the criminal actors of what they're going after here, which is the proceeds of their criminal scheme. We cannot guarantee, and we may not be able to do this in every instance. So the point here is this is a very significant undertaking. This was an attack against some of our most critical national infrastructure in the form of the Colonial Pipeline. This represents the swift whole-of-government response represented in the work of this task force and our determination to go after the entire ransomware criminal ecosystem used by these types of criminal networks and their affiliates, which are targeting and going after, including in disruptive ways, our critical infrastructure.
Alex, ABC.
Thanks. So I guess when you boil down the figures, though, they're still technically walking away with roughly $2 million in cryptocurrency payments here. So I wonder what you say to that argument that the deterrent factor really isn't here in this case because this group is based out of Russia and because of that isn't really likely to face criminal consequences for these actions.
Well, I'm not going to get ahead of the investigative efforts and the full consequences that associated with this ongoing investigation, but this represents the seizure and deprivation from criminal actors of exactly what they're going after, which is criminal proceeds of their scheme. And it was swiftly done based on and thanks to the quick notification by Colonial Pipeline, their work with the U.S. government, and the message here today is we will bring all of our tools to bear to go after these criminal networks, including the ecosystem and the illicit and the abuse, frankly, of the online infrastructure that they use, including digital currency, to perpetrate these schemes.
All right, thank you very much. If you have any additional questions, please send them to me, and we'll get them answered for you. Have a great day.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.